That is SCSU's President Robin Wacker on yesterday's announcement on the end of some Husky athletic programs. SCSU has decided to cut 3 sports, including football, men's and women's golf. The Minnesota State Fair can be a place to contract smiles and laughter, but this year it may have been a place to contract another illness. Fears are relieved and a local family can breathe easy after a young boy was found safe after going missing yesterday afternoon. Authorities say 6-year-old Ethan was last seen getting off a school bus yesterday. Unconfirmed reports say they saw the helicopter go down around the Pearl Lake area south of St. Augusta. The status of the 3 guardsmen on board the aircraft is still unknown. This is a developing story, so stay tuned to UTVS News and our social media for the latest updates. Today on the campus of St. Cloud State University was the annual De-Stress with Dogs event. About a dozen therapy dogs were brought in to the Atwood Theater for students to hang out and relax with. This has been a tradition on campus that comes around for finals week every semester when students are facing some of the most stress. Police have a suspect in custody after a shooting in a Walmart parking lot in Blaine. The incident happened Monday morning and police say the man was shot in the ear. Detectives picked up a suspect in Wisconsin hospital where he was arrested. The investigation is ongoing. Bobby Pointer joins us in the studio with weather. Bobby, it was like 80 degrees 2 days ago and now it's freezing. What's up with that?
Yeah, what happened?
Our top story, federal investigators have found the reason behind a deadly 2017 explosion at a Minneapolis school. It was due to a pipe crew member who lacked proper training and was not authorized to move a gas meter. Gina Fox from the Tri-County Humane Society joined us once again for a weekly pet segment. Take a look at this week's adorable kitten up for adoption. After former President Jimmy Carter fractured his pelvis in a fall last month, First Lady Rosalind Carter says her husband is doing really well. Carter says she's been helping her husband recover and will continue to be a lifelong caregiver. We come back on U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper saying American troops are being withdrawn from Syria to Iraq within 4 weeks after meeting Iraq's defense minister earlier today. The meetings came after Iraqi forces said U.S. troops leaving northeastern Syria don't have permission to stay in Iraq. Officials are now considering all travelers, including American citizens, to be photographed as they enter and leave the country. This is now a part of the identification system using facial recognition technology, and the Department of Homeland Security says they expect to publish a proposed rule by next July. Critics are raising objections, and Senator Edward Markey says he will introduce legislation to block the plan. St. Cloud State University's Homecoming 2019 is just about to kick off with many fun activities planned around campus. I had the opportunity to speak to University Program Board directors about what fun activities they have planned, including the Homecoming Kickoff that'll be happening right behind me outside Atwood.
Today we have Homecoming Kickoff, and it's just kind of kicking off the start of Homecoming, and then we'll have events leading up to the game on Saturday. We've got Kickoff now, which we have Spin Magic, we have free food for students, we've got a Euro Bungee, and then we also have tie-dye, and then tonight we also have the bonfire down in, I believe it's Q-Lot.
Even though the homecoming festivities are free for students with a valid student ID, there's a bigger focus that these student organizations want to highlight.
We love just to see students engaging on campus because when you come to college, you want to have all the experiences, and I think going to these events on campus kind of brings you closer to the university.
This year's homecoming is the second time the festivity has returned since it was canceled in 2010. With its return, many students are excited for the festivities to begin once again.
Big thing is with a lot of the incoming classes, they don't realize we haven't had homecoming. So it doesn't seem as big of a deal to them, but to a lot of people who have been here for a while, having homecoming back is a really big deal because we've just been one of the few colleges across the state that hasn't had homecoming. So it's been kind of awkward for us during that time period to be like, well, we don't really have homecoming.
The return of homecoming to St. Cloud State University has had a positive impact on the student body, because during the time frame of not having the event, there was a certain feeling around campus that left many students wanting more.
We kind of had a lull in our Husky pride and spirit being shown off, so just being able to have a homecoming week showing off all of our pride of being Huskies here, it's a really big deal.
With revitalized spirits and many fun activities planned, Homecoming 2019 will for sure be a homecoming to remember. Reporting in St. Cloud, Stephen Schroeder, UTVS News.
On behalf of all Minnesotans, we offer our deepest sympathies to the families of these warriors. They paid the ultimate price in service to Minnesota and to the United States of America.
3 Minnesota National Family Guard members are left devastated after a routine maintenance test flight turned fatal at around 2 p.m. Thursday.
Today, 3 soldiers from the Minnesota National Guard were killed when a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter from the Minnesota National Guard's Army Aviation Support Facility went down southwest of St. Cloud, Minnesota.
The helicopter left the St. Cloud Aviation Facility at around 2:05 p.m. Minutes after, a Mayday call was sent out alerting the Minnesota Aviation Rescue Team. With assistance from the Minnesota State Patrol helicopter and St. Paul firefighters, the Black Hawk helicopter was found 90 minutes after the Mayday call in the trees on a farm in Kimball, Minnesota, just 60 miles southwest of St. Cloud. While the cause of the crash is still unknown, the focus right now is on the families who lost 3 loved ones just before the Christmas season.
On behalf of all Minnesotans, we offer our deepest sympathies to the families of these warriors. They paid the ultimate price in service to Minnesota and to the United States of America. Words will never ease the pain of this tragic loss, and the state of Minnesota is forever in the debt of these warriors.
Investigators from the Army Safety Center out of Fort Rucker, Alabama are expected to arrive today and will be here for multiple days trying to figure out how exactly this fatal accident occurred. Stay tuned to UTVS News as we will update you as the story progresses. Reporting in Kimball, Minnesota, Stephen Schroeder, UTVS News. With the completed renovation of Eastman Hall that just opened up yesterday, it opens up a wide range of possibilities for Student Health Services organization to better help students here at St. Cloud State University. But what exactly does that mean?
The benefits of coming here is that we're located with other health programs. We're able to highlight their departments when we do events. We are able to really collaborate a lot more.
Alongside the increased collaboration between health services, the relocation and renovation makes accessing student health services easier to find.
Sometimes it's hard to find our offices because they're tucked away in random places. If you say, like, where's medical clinic and pharmacy? Oh, that's in Hill Hall, but then they're thinking of the residential side and it's hard to find. If it's health related, it's likely that I'll find my answers in Eastman. That makes it much more manageable.
Eastman Hall has been known to have a very rich historical connection to St. Cloud State University. The 90-year-old building was formerly a physical education and recreational facility. The renovated building now features many art installations that call back to what it used to be.
People that had used the space before were really connected to the pool. It was very beautiful. It had these very lovely tiles from the 1920s, and those have been incorporated into several of the pieces of artwork. Some benches from the gym area, so that those were up on the mezzanine level, and those have been incorporated here, as well as another art spot on the first floor, as well as parts of the basketball court have been incorporated into some of the art areas.
The inclusion of artwork from the original Eastman Hall isn't the only thing that ties back to the rich history of the building. The exterior walls and even the windows have stayed the same. This lets in more natural light and features a fantastic view of the river, which is a departure from most buildings on campus.
Dr. Potter, our former president, when he started really talking about this project, he really talked about how the university had turned its back on the river and that this was our last opportunity to really showcase the river. I personally find water, and especially rivers, really therapeutic, and bringing back to nature is a huge importance for wellness and health. Oftentimes when we're more disconnected to the earth and to nature, feel more disconnected from everything. When you're connected to nature, it's often a benefit to your mental health and to your wellness.
The renovated Eastman Hall and Student Health Services will be ready to help students with whatever help they need when they start school again in the fall. Reporting in St. Cloud, Stephen Schroeder, UTVS News.